Hey everybody, welcome to The Huddle, the Review.com's weekly sports show. I'm Executive Editor Rob Toder of the Alliance Review, joined as always by Mike Brown, Sports Editor of the Review. And we hope everybody had a great Black Friday. I know I did. I slept into about 10 o'clock in the morning. But let's get to the important stuff, Mike. Let's talk about Mount Union football. And really no change for the Purple Raiders. They rolled right along. They got off to a little bit of a slow start, but Charles Diesel and Nick Driscoll from the defense set them up with interceptions. Yeah. And they rolled off to a 55-13 victory in the second round of the playoffs.
Like we talked about last week, Rob, when you're a team, especially when you're playing Mount for the first time in Alliance, Ohio, and you think about all that mystique and you go there and one thing happens and it just snowballs, and that did last week's game. And then before you know it, you're down 21-0 or something like that to Mount, and the game is over.
Yeah, Johns Hopkins players and coaches all felt that they had great appreciation for the tradition and the skill of Mount Union. They were well coached. They saw that on film. But like you said earlier in the week too, until you get a sense, until you see that speed up close, you don't have an appreciation for just how quick that Mount Union team is.
Right, and a lot of times I talk to coaches and they say you watch films, you can't tell speed on film. And so there's no way of getting prepared for that until you're actually into the game, and then when you see all the speed Mount has, that's a pretty tough mountain to climb.
Yeah, and the thing with Mount Union, and this has probably been their tradition with the success, is, and it's not an easy way to say it, but they know when to put their boot on your throat,
right.
and they know they have that kill factor.
They sure do.
And if you give them an opening, more often than not, they're going to take advantage of it.
It's like sensing the blood. They're great at that. They've done it for years, and I very rarely have ever seen Mount fail in that regard. In fact, I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, I'll tell you, to be honest with you, the last time I didn't see it was in the BW game last year when they got out to a big lead and Ball Walls came back on them. And they still found a way to win at the end. So, and that's that great Mount Union tradition.
Sure is.
Well, this week they've got the Widener Pride coming in. They've faced one time before. Mount Union won in the playoffs a few years ago. So Widener, again, it really doesn't matter who the opponent is. They've still got to come in and get off to a quick start.
And like I said before, Mount just needs to take care of business. I think they're the best team in the field. I thought that before the tournament started. I still feel that way. There's going to be some challenges down the road. I still think, they're really good to go again this week. I think this is going to be a really stiff test for Widener.
Well, and everybody's talking about this semifinal matchup between Mount Union and Mary Hardin Baylor. Well, let's not forget both teams still have to win to get to that matchup. But do you feel like this is probably the week that Mount Union needs to guard against looking ahead to that matchup?
No, I don't, because I think Larry Karras, and he has always done this, does such a great job. This is one of his greatest strengths, in my opinion, of keeping his team even keel. You never see Mount 2 up or 2 down for a game. Doesn't matter if it's an opponent you think they're going to blow out or an opponent you think it's going to be a tight game. Mount prepares so well. He will never let his team get caught up in looking ahead, and I think that's one of his greatest strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. And then make sure you check out the review all week long. We'll have preview stories leading up to the game. Of course, we'll have coverage front to back of this Mount Union Widener game. We'll have coverage in the review in next week's paper, in Monday's paper, and we'll also have live coverage at thereview.com. We'll have live scoring updates. We'll have video of the game, and of course, Jeff Zupanik, our beat writer, is going to tweet live from the game so you can follow along as well too. So it should be a great day. Take in the ball game. High school football, we're in state championship weekend. A lot of good games over in Canton and Massillon. And let's take the one that I think we're both kind of looking forward to, and that's that Kirtland-Coldwater rematch from last year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, two great programs. And I've said his name a million times. Tiger Laverty, head coach at Kirtland, one of the best young coaches in the state of Ohio. Could coach at any level. He likes it in Kirtland. He's got a great thing going there with hundreds and hundreds of youth kids playing in those programs, and he's got a great high school team. He really does. And Coldwater, all that tradition, from the MAC and things like that, that should be a fantastic matchup. That could come down to like a last possession or a mistake here or there.
Yeah. One other Midwest Athletic Conference team in the finals, Marion Catholic, or Marion Local rather, they've always been there. They're always a threat to win the state title against another great tradition team in Newark Catholic.
It's nice
Division
to see,
6.
Yeah, it's nice to see Newark Catholic back. They've had a little bit of a down cycle for them because they had such a great run. back in the day, but it's nice to see those two teams are back, and I think that'll be a close game as well.
Yeah. Also in Division 4, St. Clairsville, what a great run they've had. Their boys basketball team made it to Columbus last year for the first time in forever,
Right.
and now their football team's in the state final, and they take on Clinton Massey.
Right.
And in Division 3, Akron St. Vincent St. Mary carries the banner for Northeast Ohio, and they take on Bellevue in Division 3. Any thoughts on the Irish?
Well, I think St. V's just been so dominant through that. And Belleville's a team. It's interesting. They're playing for a state title. It was 2 weeks ago. They were dead to rights in their game and actually got I believe they got a turnover late and scored with like 10 seconds to go to send it to the next round, and then won the next round. Here they are playing for a state title. So, you have to be good. They say this so much. You have to be good, but you have to have a little luck along the term, and that's a Bellevue team that's had some luck along the way too.
Now the two marquee games, Friday night's Division II final, Toledo Central Catholic and Trotwood Madison. There's going to be a little bit of athleticism on the field in that football game. And in Saturday night's D1 final, Cincinnati Moeller, talking about a program that's been away for a few years, but back in the state final. Those Cincinnati teams in D1 are always going to be really good. And they face an undefeated Toledo Whitmer team that took care of Mentor last week.
Right. At Parochial Catholic League in Cincinnati is one of the best leagues in the entire United States. Tremendous league, produce good teams year in and year out. And Toledo Whitmer's a team that's really done well the last couple of years, so that should be a good matchup as well.
So a lot of good football this weekend. Hopefully we'll see you at a game. If you see us, stop by and say hello.